Okay, so we've made all these parts and pieces, and so the next step is actually to put this into a subassembly. And a subassembly is also called an assembly, and so I'm going to create a new assembly here. I hit the plus sign way down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert all of those Axel parts. And if I wanted to, I could do each one individually. In the previous demonstrations, I definitely showed you to put everything kind of separate. These are already here in the right orientation, so we're probably safe to do it this way as well. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my very central or base part, and I'm going to right click on that and fix it. Then from there, that means I can't move it, but you'll notice all these other parts and pieces can move from there, and so I need to constrain them. And here in Onshape, the way we do this is by adding mate connectors. And so all of these parts and pieces are eventually going to be glued, so I'm going to use, just like we did with the puzzle cube, we are going to use fastened mates, and those just remove all of the degrees of freedom between those two parts. They can't rotate, they can't translate, they can't do anything. They are stuck in that correct spot. I'm going to make a mate connector, and I know that the center and on this plane right here is going to line up with the center here. So I'm going to make a mate connector there. I'm going to do the same thing right here. And because I made them both in the same orientation and they're rotationally symmetric, these are actually, the orientation should match already. And largely it doesn't matter. All I'm really caring is that this z-axis, this blue one, is matching, because I know those need to match up. Now I've got my two mate connectors. I can hit my fasten mate, select one, select the other. My other option is to select them both here in the kind of the browser that we call that. So I've got those all fastened there, and then I can move it around. I'm right clicking and dragging, and that's allowing me to kind of rotate things. I'm clicking and dragging this part without other things selected, and that allows me to kind of move this. And I'm going to move this out of the way so that I can kind of see numerous parts of it. If it was aligned like it originally was, it's going to be much more difficult to actually click in the right spot for this. Again, fasten mate, all good. Fasten mate. Because these planes are parallel and they were already in the same orientation, they should match already. Got my two mate connectors there. Fasten mate right there. Looking good. Now I'm going to move this around, and I know that this face right here is going to line up with this face right here, and this circle is going to line up here. So the centers are also going to line up. So again, move my mouse so I'm getting to that plane and clicking. I'm on the plane, and now I'm finding the center of that circle. Very important part. Actually, I didn't do that because I always forget to hit the check mark in between. So I'll just go back here and make sure I hit the check mark right there. Boom, boom. From there, fasten mate, fasten mate. All right. Now, this is all fully constrained. And one quick little test is to move these around like so. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put in the cam that we've created. So, right here in my subassembly, I can, not that, I want it actually in my assembly. I'm going to rename this Axel assembly. And the reason I'm going to do that is so I can more easily identify that. Okay, right click, rename. And the more you name things and the more that they are not just drawing one, assembly one, etc., the easier your life could be. Okay. So I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert my cam, and I know it because I see the shape, but also it's got the name of cam. Oh, that is intelligent right there. Now, I've got my cam. I'm going to move this generally in the right orientation, and then I'm going to add a new a new mate connector right there. But I'm actually going to create that second one because I already have one that's in the center here. And what I'm going to do is another fastened mate because these are going to be locked into place. But I'm going to show you how to offset those. And so if I select this mate connector and this mate connector, they're going to want to line up exactly. However, we have an offset tool right here. If I can select this, and looking really closely, and there you can always kind of guess and check, it doesn't matter, but I'm seeing that my blue axis right here, which is my z-axis, is the one that is along that if I translate along that z-axis, I can move it more towards the middle here. And so I'm going to actually offset this. I'm going to say 2 inches. And I'm noticing that it went the wrong direction. So an easy way to fix this, just like whenever you're talking about coordinate systems in math class, if you want to not go positively towards the, I'll move that towards the right, you can go towards the left by going negative. And so I'm going to click off into space. One last thing I'm going to show you, this is going to happen for our second cam, and we're going to have a rotation angle, and I'm going to actually, the second one is going to have a rotation angle of 90 degrees, but not this way. It's actually going to be rotating around the Z. Again, rotating around this blue axis here. And so we can rotate these as well as offset them, and that translates it along one of these axes. So there you go. That is exactly how we're going to finish up the assembly of this subassembly and lock our cams into place. All I need to do is put one more in, make sure that things align. Really great thing. If I was off on the math, I can change that number, no problem. So we'll continue on. We'll keep making this. I'll show you some tricks and all of that, and then you'll design your own amazing, wonderful automata yourself.